the DJ DNA podcast. I'm DJ DNA, and this is episode 5. We got my girl Debi here. What's Debi?
What's up? So excited to be here.
How was your drive up here?
It was good. Little traffic on a Sunday, believe it or not, but not bad. Your studio looks so good. I love it.
Thank you. It took long enough to get like this.
I know.
It's not over.
Oh, really? But there's more?
There's going to be more. So
What?
Eventually, we're going to end up downstairs. That's the goal, to have the studio downstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
For more
yeah.
space.
A lot more space. A lot more space.
Okay. I don't know. This is nice.
And then, Alicia does hair, so having
Yeah.
her up here
Would be
to
better.
do hair in this space, especially with the bathroom right there, we could probably tap into the plumbing there
Gotcha.
and get some sink in here or something like that.
Nice. I like it. Didn't know that.
Yeah, that area though where you had traffic in Meriden there, they're like redoing that whole thing because
Yeah.
there's a lot of crashes there.
You
They're
know,
like widening it.
I had my ways. Like, I know how to get to your house, but I don't want to think about it. I have my ways up, and they go, there's the first time I ever see ways. I'm Wazing everywhere. And on the ways, it says the next 0.75 miles, there's massive crashes. And I can see why. Because people are speeding up, trying to get in, speeding up. And I'm like, damn.
I drive for Uber.
Yeah.
And I picked up a guy from a hotel in Meriden who was from Tennessee, who was on his way driving to like one of the northern states.
Okay.
For a job interview, or an internship, and which he lost because he got into an accident and couldn't make it. So I was picking him up to bring him back to his car so he can go back to Tennessee
That's
or wherever
sad.
the hell he was from. But
Yeah, that's a danger point right there.
that area right
Yeah.
there. Let's talk about how we met.
So I was on TikTok, and was it during COVID? What year? Do you think it was 20 or 21? I forget.
That time of life was so weird. Like trying to pinpoint shit from 2020.
But you were it was probably late 2020 or early 2021.
2021.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, I love this DJ, and I'd be late for my clients because I'd be playing your music. You were live. It was great. I'm dancing. I'm singing. I love it. And then one time, don't want to blow up your spot too much, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Do it.
I don't know. You took your hat off and you're like, oh, I'm hot. I go, oh, he bald. He's bald. He's bald. And I was like, he's in Connecticut. I reached out. Hey, listen, this is what I do. And you're like, I don't know. I don't know if I can invest that much money. I go, no, I'm not charging you, baby. I go, let's get this done and we'll barter back and forth. And then that was it. It was a wrap.
Right. I remember posting. So what happened? So that is true.
Go
What
ahead.
you said is true.
Yep.
The way I remember it is you would be in my live. Actually, I didn't even know you were in my live at that point.
Yeah.
Like I think you were just watching me.
Yep.
And weren't really commenting. And then I made a post using a sound from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was a classic scene where Will's father came into the picture, and he was supposed to take Will out. And then he came back to tell Uncle Phil, like, hey, can you tell Will that I got to peace out? We're not going to be able to do what we said we were going to do. And that conversation that he had with Uncle Phil is the sound that I used on TikTok. And it was the video of me. It says, when kids ask me why I'm going bald.
Oh, no.
And then it was the sound of Will's dad saying, you think I chose this? You think I want this? It just happened. And then you sent a message. You commented on that and was like,
I got you.
I think I can help you.
Right.
And then I don't remember if I commented then, but I remember being out with Alicia eating sushi.
Of course.
Because we all love sushi.
Yeah. Now we know that.
And I'm like, babe, this lady said that this is what she does. She does SMP. I didn't even know what it was called.
SMP Scalp Micropigmentation.
Right. I don't even think I knew what it was called at the time. And she was like, she wants me to send her a picture of my scalp.
Right.
She's like, just do it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And I that's when I sent you a picture of my scalp, and I was actually, no, before I sent you a picture, that's when you said what I said, which was, I don't think I can afford it.
Right.
And then after. He was like, just send me a picture of your
Send me a
scalp.
picture.
And I sent you a picture of the scalp, and then we went on from there. We've been hella friends ever since, right?
Tight.
Super tight.
Super tight.
So you are the owner of Scalp Ink CT.
I am.
Talk a little bit about Scalp Ink CT. Like, what is it that you do, and what is Scalp Ink CT?
So I think it's going about, I think it's 8.5 or 9 years now. I do scalp micropigmentation. So it is tattoo dots. It's a lot different from body work, but it's dots on the scalp that will simulate like a hair follicle. So if I can use you as an example, so
I got the camera up.
I got to go look at. Do you think? Look at. I'm just saying. Look at. Is that when you took your hat off, I was like, oh, he's bald because you must have either cut like the night before or the day before, and I saw that you had the hair in the back but nothing on top. So what I do is I give you the hairline, I give you the edges, I fill it all in, I blend it, my work, into your own hair. You just got to keep your hair just as low, because if you let it grow, you look a little crazy, right? It doesn't look its best.
For sure.
And then, and I'm glad that it's available, because prior to this, you just had to shave it bald. Like I do it even for people with thinning hair, and they have like a Topics or like a cream or a makeup or anything like that. They can, shake it in, but don't sweat, don't move. It gets on the pillow, because and but my work is more permanent that way, so I can make thinning hair look more dense. I can put the dot on the scalp. I just can't have the hair come out.
Right, you can't.
Right.
It can't blow in the wind.
If I could, I would. I just can't.
I think when we say Scalp Ink CT, a lot of people think that it's like you just do men, but there are a lot of women out there who are losing their edges, who are balding, or receding, or thinning, that can use you. What is the ratio between men and women?
You were going to ask that. It's like 60-40 men. However, excuse me, I think I'm like 30% men that are thinning, and I have all my women are thinning, and some of them have like male pattern baldness. Even the women will have this, but they'll have hair on top a lot more than men. However, a lot of people are suffering from the backlash of having COVID. COVID has been giving people like back pain, but a lot of them are suffering hair loss and thinning. So it's a great thing I'm happy that I'm able to do it, because when I see my clients happy, it's like, if I could do this for free, I would, but what it does for the clients is just astronomical. Yeah.
For sure, and I'm a testament to that. You know what I mean?
So did you wear hats all the time? Did you ever rock your...
I did. Rarely. It was rare. It was very rare that I would be out without my hat.
Was it only because you had to, because a hat wasn't appropriate, or was it...
Yeah, like if I'm like dressing up, I have a button down and a tie, I'm not wearing a hat. And I'm not a fedora kind of guy.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it was it's something. I will be honest with you, and I don't think we've ever spoke about this, but it's kind of embarrassing in the beginning.
What is?
Getting SMP done. It was a little bit embarrassing at first, because it's like culture shock. Not culture. Culture is probably the wrong word. Before I got the confidence, there was like, what are people gonna think?
If you got it done.
When I got it done, it was like, oh man, it's like people are so used to me seeing what you saw when I took my hat off, to having a line there now, crispy as fuck.
And it's interesting, because I have that conversation with my clients, and I have a lot of clients that are either police officers or correctional officers, and they're like, like how noticeable is going to be right away, because they're worried about their brotherhood.
Right.
And I have real strong conversations with police officers and COs. But, session one, I do it, and people are going to look at you like,
There's something different.
Did you have that beard? Like, was it I don't know. Like, I don't know. Something's different. And then when you have session 2 with me, it's like, hey, you're letting your hair grow. It looks nice. Boom. And then session 3, they're like, damn, you're rocking it.
Right. You just came from the barbershop.
Right. Exactly. But I can ask you, like, if you went to a coffee shop this morning and bought a coffee, do you remember what whether it was one male or female. If it was a male, can you remember if he was bald or not?
No, not at all.
Like we are, the internal monologue of what a bald person might have is it keeps them in their own jail. So, if they're going like, oh my God, people are going to see it, people aren't thinking about your hairline like you are. So, and because I have to do it in 3 sessions, because if you do too much in one session, it's never a one and done. Please, I don't care where you go. Please.
You fucking my questions up, Deb.
I'm sorry, babe.
No, go ahead. That was something.
I'll stop.
That was one of the questions I was gonna get into. Like, be careful.
Yes.
Who you're getting work done for SMP, because if you're going to a tattoo artist may be SMP certified or qualified to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. You just gotta make sure that you know who's doing it, because Deb, we did it in like 3 or 4 sessions.
Yeah.
And going back to what you said before, I was one of those guys, is it going to be super noticeable? Like, some people you do, and it's not a hard, I don't want to call it a hard line. What do you call it?
Well, I like the smedium.
Schmedium.
Instead of the hard rock, like a barber just cut you up, or like very dusted. There's all these hairlines that, like, if you're a dark black guy, you have no choice but to have a hard hairline. You have to. If I dusted it up, it's only going to get lost. Let's say I dusted it up a good inch. Your hairline's looks good. It's going to look like an inch back, and that's not good for you because it gets lost in the dark skin. So you're kind of stuck with that.
You post a lot of pictures of your work on your Instagram, which is Scalp Ink CT on IG. You guys got to follow her. Check out her work. But I like the way it looks on the dark skinned men better.
Dark
skin looks a lot better. To me, in my opinion.
It takes better pictures. And I'm not a photographer. I don't ever claim to be. But it does take better pictures, and it presents better. But when I have a lighter-skinned guy in there, he goes, I don't want that hard hairline. I go, thank goodness. I go, it's not my favorite. But there's color skin that they're stuck with that. You have options. So they could have a hard, sharp hairline, but it doesn't. Listen, the procedure is a fake appearance of hair. And then when you have a sharp hairline and edges on a lighter guy, it's going to look even more fake. And they're like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's make it look natural.
Right, natural. It's gotta, you got to be a different type of person to not want it to look natural. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like that's different.
Yeah. Like my Puerto Rican guys, my darker Italian guys, it depends. But my white guys, I'm like, please, 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 please don't ask for a hard hairline. And they're like, I don't want it. I go, thank God, it's not a good look. But they do take better pictures.
And you're in a position where people might want something. A lot of people don't even know what the fuck they want. They don't even know what they're looking for, right?
Can we swear?
Yeah, hell yes.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Woo!
She's like, I feel better now.
Okay, go.
What was I saying? You're in a good position. They don't even know what the fuck they want. So it's like, sometimes you have to lead them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You have to let them know, like, listen, this is not going to look right. You might want to think about doing this.
I do that a lot because they don't know. So if someone comes to my chair and they sit there and I measure their face and I can figure out where their hairline was when they were 18, and they're like, what? I was like, yeah. I go, but let's make it age appropriate for you at 52
Because your shit probably is starting to recede.
You know what I'm saying? But let's think about the future. And so we make it hard, soft, break it up. What, color is. I have a lot of people that ask, like, I'm salt and pepper. And so what do you do about that? I go, well, the good thing is that the hair you have, you're going to have to keep low. So no one's really going to see that. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to make it like, black, which is not the right thing to do. I'll warm it up with some neutralizer and, pick the color that's perfect for you. So session 1, I picked the color. It's like the foundation of the procedure. And then they come back, and then I was like, I see how you heal. I see what formula I used. I always go darker, and we just got to add more friends. Let's add more friends. Because let's say you have a full head of hair, and you just want to wear a buzz cut because you just can't stand it. You're lucky and you can't stand it. It will look normal, that it looks more dense on top, and then you cut it shorter on the side like a fade, and my work will just blend in.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
I was about to say something. Let's talk about the ink, right?
Yeah.
Because people who are going to tattoo artists. We can make this
I'll do
interview
that, yeah.
or this episode
Yeah.
sort of like a learning experience for
Yeah.
people too who may have not even known about SMP or been thinking about it, and their brother is a tattoo artist, and you know what I mean. One thing that they have to look at is the ink. The ink is different.
The pigment isn't completely different because when you use pigment on the body, it has metals in it to really hold and last, and different colors and things like that. And they go in, and then they got to drag that needle to draw that dragon. I do each individual follicle by itself.
Right. There's no breaking
Like a big
skin
stamp.
and squiggly. There's
No,
none of that. It's
no.
literally, her nickname is Dottie.
I know. You're not the only one. Your daughter is not the only one who calls me Dottie. I have other people you don't
Right.
know about. They call me Dottie. I go, no, this is Debbie. He goes, no, you're Dottie because you do this. I go, my bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, but Dottie. So if you do too much, let's just say this. Let's say there is one guy in Florida who claims that he can do it all in one session. Sure, he could, because he'll bang you for $8,000 and then spend about 6 hours just ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. And guess what happens? It migrates under the skin, and your hair looks just like chocolate milk, just a solid color. And that's not what we want. Imagine going like 6-7 hours at once. Lord have mercy.
I couldn't.
Right?
I mean, I've had multiple sessions.
Yep.
Not that it hurts or anything,
No,
but
it's not,
you're there. You're there.
Yeah. And it's for you. Is it really like around the hairline and like the temples?
Yeah. And this is my first time going on record saying this because
I know. What
I'll be honest with you. I lie a little bit.
He hates it.
No. I lied to other people just so they get their shit done. Like, it hurt. Don't be a little bitch. No, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It's tingly over here.
Yeah, it is.
And so it's like it's just annoying. It's like annoying.
Like an annoying gnat.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. It's just a gnat.
Yeah.
But then my crown, I'll fall asleep.
Right.
Like
I
when
have
you're
guys
doing
snoring.
So good.
And then
It's so
I
good.
have some guys. You have a client after me. I'm like, no, take your time. Like they love it, and I don't want to get into why they love pain. I don't want to get into
chair.
it.
It's that chair.
It's the pain. And the chair. The chair's hot.
The chair is super comfortable.
It's super comfortable, yeah.
So like when someone comes with red hair,
Yep.
it's just a different pigment.
I use more of a brown wash with someone who has reddish or blondish hair and someone who's dark, because I see even you're brownish, right?
Yep.
But because you have black, I got to go darker than I would assume, and then I'll do a test and see how it looks, and then I'll just accommodate the formula for
So
what
you
you
can
need.
do any hair colors.
If you're white, here's the thing about doing some with white, maybe salt and pepper, even like blonde. You don't want to go super dark, but you have to add more impressions. So it is what it is.
So
I might have to
you're just adding to the salt and pepper.
add into the salt and pepper, but you gotta do a smaller needle and just for that density. If it's thinning. But again, if it's someone who's bald and has that male pattern baldness, you got to keep this low anyway. So if you're red. If you're white, if you're salt and pepper, that's got to not be showing anyway, because this has to be low, because we want this to,
Exactly.
like, it's
So
like the opposite.
I'm taking the Andes clippers, the clippers that men are using
Trimmer.
at their trimmers.
Yeah.
They're I call them edge up clippers that men are getting edge
the
ups with.
T-liner, or does it have different?
The T-liner.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm just buzzing my whole head.
Right.
So you're matching it to what that buzz is.
Right.
Like I shaved my head today. There's hair here.
With the trimmer.
With the buzzer, with
the clipper, yeah.
With what I'm talking
Okay,
about,
yeah.
And you can't.
You said it
you
today?
can't. You can't even tell, yeah.
Turn that way. Yeah.
you can't
Blending
tell.
perfect.
Yeah, you can't even tell.
Perfect. So I always tell people that they should have like a kit. They should have a trimmer, a T-liner, and like a foil shaver.
I have both. You every time I come there, you ask me, even whether I'm getting a session or not, because we hang out all the time.
right.
But you always ask me about the shaver, the foil
Oh my
shaver,
God,
and I
Scalp-
never do. I never use it.
Foil shaver?
But before
That's
I got
crazy.
SMP, I only used the foil shaver.
Really?
Yeah, because you wouldn't
It gets
see.
low.
Yeah,
It gets rid of that
you wouldn't
line.
see that
I
line
see.
of where the George Jefferson is.
So my. Hey, right. You wish off than George. Sorry, baby. George was here. You were doing it
Oh shit! I was
It was
taking
like
a little
George
more.
Grandpa's baby. So sorry, baby. But I tell people, like, get like a waterproof foil shaver, because I'm going to say this, the two things that shorten the longevity of this procedure is extended sun exposure without sunblock. Like if you or I were in Florida, you probably got to get a touch up every 2-3 years because the sun's brutal for anything. And you know, I tell people wear sunblock on their face, and if you're, oh no, I don't need to wear that, I'm going to wear a hat. Well, guess what's sticking out of the hat? Your ears. I've seen people, because I'm like white as could be. I'm in the dermatologist. There's chunks of people's ears coming off. So sunblock is your friend. Everyone should be wearing it. But then I say get a waterproof shaver, and you could do like 40 seconds in the shower, and you're
every
done.
day.
You don't have to put a towel over the sink hoping you do that. There's not hair everywhere, so your wife's like yelling at you. That foil shavers, you know, and if you don't like it that short, do it at night, because when you wake up in the morning, you got a little bit of growth.
That's literally what I was going to say. And the reason why I don't use the foil shaver is because I feel like it's going to be too low.
Right. Do it at night.
I'll try it. I have like 4 foil shavers, honestly. I'll try it.
And you don't use it for your bears.
I don't know.
Why you got 4? Why?
Well, because I was shaving before we met. That's how I was.
With
I never use a razor. I use a razor in the very beginning when I shave my head.
Right.
But then I don't know if this is a misconception. I just chalk it up to me being half black. It just didn't work with my skin. The razor.
So, sun exposure, one thing that shortens longevity. Number 2 is a razor. Like when you bick it, listen, that's why men have nice skin, because they're using a razor. So they're exfoliating every time they shave. But if you bick this, I mean, I'll take your money, but that will shorten the longevity of that procedure. That's a foil shaver. You could do it all day. I have a client who's a trucker. He goes, I just likes the way it feels. And he's just doing it while he's driving. It's not going to affect what I did.
I'm gonna start working with it. I'm gonna start messing with it. Yeah, I definitely gonna test it out.
Because it's less of a mess. Plus, the foil shaver collects the hair.
I love it.
It collects it. There's no mess. You know, I'm trying to save a marriage here.
Every episode that I've had on here, I wrote down notes. Like my iPad is here, but like there's really nothing on here. Right. I mean, there's a couple of things that I definitely wanted to talk about, but. One thing that I just thought about, and we're talking about SMP, there have been times where we've been together and you've got some crazy inboxes. Can we talk about things that people say or crazy questions that people are asking?
So the things that come to mind first, the New York guys are really tough. They're really tough. Like if I throw out like a Facebook or Instagram ad, like I'll get guys from New York, and they're hard to deal with, you know. And I was like, listen, I want to get my scalp done, and then I'm gonna, as long as it's good, I'm gonna send my friends, and I got like 4 or 5 dudes, so I want a discount.
There's a whole gang of bald friends.
So I say, that's awesome, and I appreciate your confidence in me. So let's get your scalp done at full price. And then when you send me a person, I'm going to kick back a little bit to you. He goes, never mind.
Oh, my gosh.
Never mind. But let's go back to and I had a lot of this in the beginning of my career was on Facebook, because I don't have a storefront, because my studio is attached to my home.
It's so fire, too.
It's perfect.
It's
sexy, right?
It's perfect, yes.
I know, it's so pretty. So anyway, I won't go into that. So I had... people reach out and they're like, they love that it's a private studio and things like that. But as far as tattoo artists, they do small dot work on the body. However, it doesn't translate to the scalp. It is different equipment. It's different pigment. It's different technique.
Different depth.
Different everything. And if you do small dot work on the body, like I watch guys that do tattoos on YouTube, and I'm just mesmerized. But they need to be trained in SMP. It's not the same. It's not the same. Like I have people in my chair going, finally, they take their hat off. Can you fix this? I'm like, no, I can't. There's some people I can fix. There's some people that I can help. But a lot of times it's not. Oh, my friend's like, I spent $100 and, this is what he did. And I'm like, yeah, I can't fix that. You can have to laser it off.
That's actually one of the things that I do have written on my iPad is people come to you when other treatments fail, right?
Yes.
What are some other treatments that people are doing, and why is SMP the way to go?
So other treatments could be, it's not the same, but a lot of people go for hair transplants. I have several ample clients in my chair that have gone to Turkey and gotten hair transplants. I have people go down to the 2 transplant doctors that I'm affiliated in Connecticut, Dr. Cohen in Fairfield, Dr. Bowden in West Hartford, and they're still in my chair. Okay, so think about that. So everyone wants hair. I'm telling you, I get it. I can't give you hair, but I can make the hair that you have look more dense. So even if you have a hair transplant and you love what it did, I still got to deal with that scar in the back. Or you want it to look more dense, because when I put the dots on the scalp with someone who has a hair transplant, it allows less scalp to shine through, so it looks more dense.
Yes.
So I have a lot of people in my chair with those, as far as that. Some people have gotten proficient with the hair fibers.
Yep.
They put a gel on, and then they put it on,
and then they spray it with hairspray. I've been there.
Oh my God.
Before
you did?
Well, in the very beginning, as I was thinning, my barber was helping me hold on for as long as possible. Big shout out to Nesto.
I love him.
But he would come in like a salt and pepper shaker. Yeah. He literally would shake the fibers on my head and then spray it with hairspray.
And then they take the trimmer, and then edge it up and get it off and it looks perfect. Yes. It really does look beautiful. However, don't sweat. And guys are sweaters. They sweat, and then...
I'm a sweaty dude.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a sweaty dude.
You are a sweaty dude. So, and then, if it rains outside, not a good look. And you're married, but who wants all that on your wife or the pillow? It's not a good look.
I mean, we could go toe for toe here, because she's leaving dye and shit in the pillow.
True. Yeah, but her shit still stays. Yours is right?
No, for sure.
You're right. But yeah, and I think that it's a great thing that SMP is available, because, there are options. Prior to this, there was options as far as, hair follicles and sprays and things like that. But now, it has progressed to now this is permanent. It doesn't.
I'm trying to figure out. So I haven't seen anything. Maybe some of my viewers can maybe tag me in something, but when I first, there's a podcast called Drink Champs. It's got Nori from Capone Noriega. He's a hip hop artist from back in the day, and DJ EFN. And being that I have SMP, it's easy for me to question it, right? People who don't know, I question. I'm like, does he have SMP? And I didn't know. I didn't know where to that's. Unless he's saying it, I'm not going to go and be able to find out if he had SMP. But the key giveaway to someone with SMP is the shininess where there's hair at.
Right.
Like right here. Where there's no hair at.
Correct.
So I would watch the podcast. I'm like, yo, his head is mad shiny on right here.
Right.
Does he have SMP? Then recently, he does an episode with a full head of hair.
Well,
but right here.
So, you know what that is? The hair units nowadays are
where they're
wild.
Gluing it on, right?
Listen, I'm mesmerized. I feel like I want to get into it, because I just love what it does for people. So, if it's a black guy and they want waves, so they have these braids of natural hair and they glue it this way.
Yes, I see. Yes,
vertical, and then they take the clip, they cut it this way,
and then with the clippers and everything,
they take it low, because Jamie Foxx got that.
Yes.
Jamie Foxx got that because his hairline's jacked.
Jamie Foxx was on R&B Money, and you can tell.
Yes.
That he was Busta. Busta is spraying or doing something. I seen a video with Busta too. His shit looking
DJ Khaled
looking crazy.
He has salt and pepper hair, and all of a sudden he's blacked out, and that's not natural. It's natural to see some scalp.
Floyd?
Don't even. That's a bad one. I was in line.
You was in line to do Floyd?
Yes, I was.
How's that?
Fuck you. I was in line to do Floyd. And he was going in between SMP and hair transplant. And he went all the way the other side of hair transplant. I don't know where he got all the hair, but he did his scalp, he did his beard. And listen, Floyd is a handsome guy. He has beautiful skin. I wish he didn't do that. I don't even think he needed SMP, but he had a little goatee, but now he has a full grizzly look. And if he ever cut it short with black skin, it gets dark first and it takes a long time for it to get the light. So he can't really shave clean.
Yeah.
Nor his scalp. So, yeah, that's a
So we're talking about beard, Floyd's beard.
Yeah.
People ask you to do their beard or mustache?
They do.
That's something that you do?
I do. I know that you asked that. But I kind of talk people out of it.
Yeah.
And I say this, I go, listen, beards are trending right now. And if you want your beard done, listen, that's great. But if you move to another job, or if you have to go to a wedding and mom wants your face clean, or you got to go to a funeral or whatever you have to do, and you got to shave clean, you got to remember my work's going to still be there. And they're like, oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah, because you might only need a patch right here to fill in.
Make it a little sharp.
Right, exactly. So you shave your beard, you're just gonna have some dots
you're
right
gonna
there.
have some dots on your face. So
Not worth it.
I've done some people, but I've done electricians that own their own business. They're always gonna own their own business. They can do whatever the hell they want to their body, and some of them had scars. I've done face stuff. I've done it, but I have to educate people to figure out if this is what they really should do or not.
And then you're doing just scars, not even from hair transplants. People having brain surgery.
I did. Yeah, my friend. All my clients turn into my friends, so I have a great. See. Hello.
No, for sure,
right?
for sure.
So my client came and he needed a hairline. However, he had a scar from ear to ear that was from a brain tumor. And I wasn't just able to give him a hairline and feel good about himself, but I was able to, erase that emotion of seeing it every time when he looked in the mirror of that brain tumor. So, yeah, good times. I love that. I love it.
You just touched on something I was going to ask you too. Why do you think you developed this relationship with your clients? So you know what I mean? What do you think it is? I don't even know how to ask this question, but you know where I'm trying to get, right?
I got you.
What do you think it is about you that we love about? I don't know how to ask this question, but
wonderful. No, I have 6 brothers, and I've done work in customer service for my whole life, so I can bob and weave with a lot of personalities. I've had maybe over 3,500 clients, and there's only 2 that I don't care to ever see again, because they were just not nice people. But everyone else, I'm still in communication with them. Yeah,
there's been people who you've plugged me in with. Mm-hmm. That or not plugged me in with, people that you introduced me to, where I've come over and hung out, and there's people there, and I thought you knew these people for years.
No.
And I'm coming to find out that they were a client.
Yep.
We're having a house party. Everybody in there is clients.
All clients. Yeah.
Super close. You would never be able to tell.
No.
Never ever be able to tell.
No.
Royal Arches.
Yeah. So that's how I started.
Okay, so I should have probably started with Royal Arches.
That's all
I started with
what you have.
SMP because Scalp Ink CT because I got SMP,
right.
But it all started with eyebrows.
It did. So I had a friend of mine send me an Instagram post, and it was these microbladed brows, and I was like, I had nothing in my, because I'm actually, I didn't want to say fuck you right out of the gate, but fuck you, I'm a natural redhead. But what happens from being a redhead, and I'm not proving it, but when you're a redhead and you mature, it doesn't go gray, it goes from red to white. So I've been coloring my hair for, 18 years. But my brows were light, so they were going this way. And so when the person sent me the picture on Instagram about the eyebrows, I was like, oh my God, I want them. And
back when microblading burst became a thing.
Well, I didn't know about
it. You didn't even know what it was.
2016.
Was it the procedure you saw, or just the brow?
Just someone had it before and after, and it was someone that was deep in Manhattan. I'm like, oh my God, I want them. I'm on the computer. I know the reason now why I couldn't get an appointment. I couldn't get an appointment for 9 months, and my mind went from screw my brows, but I need a job. So let's do something. I need to change careers. I needed in my life. I needed to change careers, and I was like, oh my god, full time. And she was charging $1,500 at the time, deep in Manhattan. You know, that's different.
Everything's expensive.
And I was
down
like
there, right?
full time, ching. So I was like, in 2 weeks I was getting trained in Chicago. However, I learned that the woman only worked 2 days a week. So there you go. But it motivated me, and then I was getting trained in Chicago, and we did brows, and I was like, damn, I gotta be good at this. And I did my first set of brows on the fake mannequin. I'm like, we're good. And then she had trained me a lot of other things, eyeliner and lip and a lot of other things that I was not interested in. And then there was things called scalp micropigmentation, and it was minuscule. And I love the person who trained me, so I don't want to. However, she was like, bump, on the fake skin, that's all. And me not knowing anything, I'm like, I'm sure that's not it, but I'm not here for that. So let's get into the brows.
Right.
And then when I came back from being trained, my brow business was blowing up. I was like Instagramming and Facebooking left and right. And then after a while, I was like, I can't run a business on just one gender. So in my mind, SMP was just for men.
It was right there.
It was right there. And so I had practiced. I did a lot of practicing before I started. And then once I launched SMP, it blew up. So now I do both.
Alicia's got her brows done.
She needs to get them done again.
Yep.
Got to come down. Yep.
So when you get your brows done,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just permanent. Mm-mm. I mean, I know these answers, but
I know. It's different on the face.
It's weird asking you these questions that I already freaking know the
It's
answer.
different on the face. They're semi-permanent. They can last 1 to 3 years. I have people that have come to me from 8 years ago, and I was like, damn, they still look good. But once I redo them,
You could tell the difference,
back
right?
to life. Back to life.
I think Royal Arches, microblading is phenomenal.
Isn't it crazy?
It's so crazy. It's literally like a 3D tattoo.
It's excellent. Like I can
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it can be.
Right, because it's making
if
it
you
look
have
like
some hair. Yeah, like I would I would not do you, but I can look at you. Yes, I'm looking at your brows, and I can see some enhancement on that, but it's not enough to do on a man.
Right, no.
And you don't want to ever give a feminine brow to a man. Brows for men are different. And listen, I have to, because I have clients that come to me with alopecia and they have nothing. And I had a gentleman come to me that had all the patches all over his head, and I loved helping him. And since he was 11 years old, and he was like 40 when he came to me, and he was using this waterproof something, and I was like, let's do your brows. And he was like, you have no idea what you've done for me.
That's fire.
It's
fire.
massive.
For someone like that, that's
Yeah.
I talk about
Yeah.
confidence in my hairline, but
Yeah.
like I could only imagine. We look crazy without eyebrows. It's like
it's
some
crazy.
alien shit.
Right. Right. However, but a man, he'll have brows, but if you just groom them a little bit, not feminine, they'll look more pronounced, and that's all you need. And I have the habit of talking people out of getting some services done. But if they have nothing, then I got you.
That's what I love about you, because
Yeah.
I have a friend who needs her eyebrows done,
Mm-hmm.
and I was over your house one day, and I call her
Mm-hmm.
on a FaceTime, and I thought it was really dope that you're not like, yo, let's get this money. Let's get this money. You were
it's
more
okay.
like,
Yeah.
hey, listen, before you come to me,
Yeah.
try these steps.
Yeah.
Try grooming them,
Yep. Maybe tinting them.
tinting them a little bit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I think that goes back to why you're friends with your
Yeah.
clients,
That's
right?
Yeah. I don't.
I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's the sauce right there.
That's the sauce.
Yeah.
I want to lie to people. I mean, come on. I don't want to do that.
The process
Yeah. Which process?
of eyebrows.
Eyebrows are so different from scalp. So, I have to use numbing cream, and it's called microblading.
That shit sound crazy.
It's
I'm never gonna lie.
It's called microblading for a reason, because I use a blade. But let me explain this. So I can have a blade that has seven needles in it on a slant, and they're so tiny. I use it sometimes just to add like baby hairs, and then I have all the way up to 21, and the needles are thicker that are compressed together. So if I have someone who wants a big, impressive brow, I use the 21. I have 16, 14, 12, 7. So I am slicing the skin in the brow area, but it's so minute that it comes out and it looks like a hair stroke. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's really amazing.
Looking at a fresh healed brow
Yep.
from microblading,
Yep.
you're like, you can't even fucking tell.
No.
Definitely can't tell from far.
Right.
Hard to tell up close.
Very. Very, very, very. And you know what? It is semi-permanent. You know, you don't want to, like, sun is always your enemy. But if you do any kind of skincare, which is awesome, do it. But then clean your brows off. Because any extra oils or moisturizers can eat them up. And if you have super, super, super oily skin, it's going to be a hard time to keep your brows. I'm going to tell you that.
Okay. Oily skin, hard to keep.
Super hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Same with the scalp too, right?
Not really.
The scalps are super oily too.
I have some clients that come to me almost every 6, 7, 8 months. And I think they lying to me. I think they shaving.
With a razor.
With a razor.
They not putting on sunscreen. Follow those aftercare instructions,
listen,
or maybe they just got it like that.
They do.
Maybe they got it like that, and it don't even matter. It doesn't matter at that
But
point.
there's 2 out of 3,500.
If you're frugal,
yeah, keep it nice.
Keep it nice.
Follow the instructions, you know. But it's all right. I got you afterwards. Yeah. No, it's a good thing. It makes me feel good to help people. A lot of times, you know, people in my chair for brows are not people that have great brows. They're always like they have 1, 2 hairs. And Sunday morning, I have someone that got brows like this. I was like, oh my God, what? You know, and we got to build a brow. We got to kind of figure it out to bring it this way.
During the pandemic, right? At the very, very, very beginning of the pandemic, I'd like to think that I'm funny sometimes, and I remember making a post on Facebook that said, we have to social distance. We're not going outside. You're not hanging out with people. Let your fucking eyebrows grow back.
Oh, my God.
I thought that the pandemic was a perfect time for people to let their eyebrows grow back. And people didn't.
Well,
They didn't.
Yeah.
Right. That would have been a good time to get your brow because
Right.
we know that you were tweezing,
yeah.
over tweezing those brows for years.
Well, that's why I have a job, really,
Right,
from the 90s. Yeah.
Skinny ass eyebrows from the 90s.
Yep.
Should have just let your shit grow back, and then you could have edged them shits up.
Right.
I never groomed my eyebrows until until recently. Alicia did it because I had like one coming out.
One like a
This
warrior.
one
Sticking out like
one blonde ass
Really?
eyebrow
Was it thick?
hair. It was thick as hell.
Yeah.
Those
motherfuckers.
I would usually just pull it out
Yes.
and have my eyes watering and shit.
Oh. It's like
It's
like
like
a
make
tree
my
trunk, right? Like,
exactly.
bow.
It's like I played with it afterwards. But she trimmed it up.
Yeah.
There's guys that I know that every time they go to the barbershop, they're getting their eyebrows lined
I know
up.
when they use that straight edge and they make it look so perfect, or they got that little thing. No. We want natural. I do the natural thing.
Women with blonde hair.
Yep. So.
Yep, you know I'm going with that.
Yeah. So, I'm a natural redhead, so to have light brows is a thing to do. But I always try to match the color to the actual brow color of the hair. And if you have a few, we get to see what it is. So if it's light, then you're really not going to do well with a darker brow. It's not a good look. So let's build up. Because when
you might as well just cut your whole eyebrows off.
Right. When you come to me, we do one session. And then in 60 days, I do a perfecting, a retouch. And if you want to go a little darker then, so be it. You want to go a little bigger, bolder, so be it. But let's not do that in session 1. Let's just build up to what we have to do, because that's like a big deal if it's too much.
I'm sure there's a bunch of people here who I feel like most people know what it is nowadays. It's all over the place, and they're thinking about doing it. In my opinion, and it's not just because you're sitting here in front of me. I mean, I have some of your work. My wife has some of your work. You've introduced me to people with your work. If you're thinking about getting your eyebrows done, or your scalp done.
Yeah.
Send her a picture of your scalp.
Yeah, just do that.
She's on IG. Royal Arches is also on IG. Send her a picture of your brows. Send her a picture of your scalp.
I can help you out.
And see if she can help you out. And like I said, she might tell you that try some other steps before you spend that money.
And I have to say this before we go. I do a lot of repair work. a lot of repair work, brows, a lot of repair work on scalp. And there are a few other people, I guess, that are popping up in Connecticut that do it. And, you know, we're all new at some point. We're all new.
I was following a page who I thought was yours.
Dude,
Remember that?
I
You was
jumped
like-
all over you for
Yo,
that.
you did. She was
this
like-
is not me. But he put his business name close to my business name. It's not cool.
Yeah.
But is
I'm
it?
sorry.
It's partially flattering and partially pisses me off.
Right, it's one of those things where it's
Yeah.
like imitation is the form of
Or
flattery,
yeah.
but now
Just-
fuck all
yeah,
that.
Fuck all that. You know, but listen, you know, I'm 9 years in. You know, if you want it done right, you know, and I'm not the least expensive. You know, some people charge a lot less because they're new, and I get all that. But this is not a procedure that, you know, cheaper is better. It's not.
Well,
It's
definitely get
yeah.
what you pay for.
Because let's say you go and get your scalp done, and someone messes it up, and I can't fix it. You know what you gotta do? You gotta laser that shit off.
And that shit is not comfortable.
No, it's like taking a big thick elastic and
Pow.
pew, and just hitting your scalp. It's not. It works, but it's not. It's not. And you know, it's costly. And then you got to wait a long time for me. You know, at least 3 months for me to touch you. So, you know, you're gonna wait. You're gonna spend more money undoing it, doing it, and undoing it, and then coming to me. Yeah.
I've been going back and forth with this next thing.
Go ahead.
Right?
Oh.
I'm just trying to figure out how to get into it, but I think when I asked you what is it about you that your clients love that make us more like family, and I think a lot of it has to do with Kyle. Right?
Yep.
Right? You see him up there?
I do.
Did you notice it before we even started? Don't start crying
I'm
on
gonna
here.
start crying,
Don't
so you're
start
gonna have
crying. If we start crying, it's gonna go boo.
No, don't do that.
No, but
So, let me say this. So I'll say this.
yes.
So, prior to June 2022, you know, my studio is attached to my house, and I have a son. His name's Kyle, special needs, and he loves people. I was like, Kyle, you can't come in all the time, man. You can't come in all the time. And you know what? He'd come in.
Anyway,
Sometimes he'd crack the door a little bit with the brows. He was like, "Hi, beautiful." Hi, beautiful. I was like, and she's like, and I always say, I go, listen, I have a special needs son. I tell him not to come in, but if he comes in, that's what's happening.
Right.
And I preface it all the time. And then she goes like, "Oh, hi, Kyle." The client will go, and then he'd boom, come right in, hold her hand,
hugging,
hug her while she's laying down.
showing her the phone and the iPad.
Yes, you know, and then the scalp would, you know, I have a scalp client, and then, you know, it depends on what movie the scalp client was watching. He'd come in, watch it with them. And I had a police officer come in, and I was doing a little something for him, and Kyle must have been listening, because he comes in with a grocery bag with a bottle of water and an apple, and he goes, "Thank you for your service."
Such a good guy.
Such a good boy.
Such a good boy.
Such a good boy.
Yadded the fuck up.
What?
I say yadded, but he was tatted the fuck
Oh,
up.
yeah. I didn't do one of them. I don't do that work. But yeah, he had good guys and bad guys.
This
DC,
horror, DC and Marvel,
Yeah.
right? And then horror
horror on his legs.
on his legs.
And then the Cheshire Cat on the side, because he wanted the Mad Hatter over here, and we didn't get to that.
I definitely still. We spoke about. We actually lost Kyle. I'll be lying if I say the date off the top of my head right now.
June
In June
22.
in 22.
Yeah.
And I would still want to get like a memorial tattoo, like one of his tats.
Oh,
Like
really?
we talked about this a little
Really?
bit. Yeah, no, for sure.
I don't
I know
remember
we have
that.
enough pictures of his tats
Oh, I have
to
everything.
like have one done in his honor. I would love to do that.
Do you know that he had one that was on the back of his calf, and it was a character from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and his tattoo artist put his face on it, the character.
Yes.
That was wild.
I
It was
love
on the
it.
back of it. It was his face on a character. It was wild. He loved it.
Did he take pictures of every tattoo?
I have everything.
You have every picture. I want to go through some of those, and I'm gonna have to find like a really,
You never
really
said
good
that
art.
to me. That's very awesome.
No, I swear. Maybe I thought it and never said it.
I don't think
But
so.
I would love to get one of his tattoos. So like, I have nothing on this arm.
Really?
Yeah. I would have to find the
I
right
have
person.
a tattoo. Kyle wanted me to get tattoos all the
If
time.
it's right there, I've probably never seen it.
I'll show you.
He was like,
I'll show you. It's right there in my heart, where my heart is.
where my heart is.
Where my heart is. Kyle always wanted me to get well, no. His tattoo artist always wanted me to get a tattoo.
Oh, he was trying to get you.
And then I was like, Kyle, I go, you don't have a tattoo. He says, I love mom. And I'm like, he was like, I'm not going to do that. I was like, okay, fine. Don't do that. So I got a tattoo after Kyle passed. And I had a friend who did it and put Kyle's ashes in the pigment.
You did tell me that. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's so dope.
Do I show you now? Can you see?
Yeah. You want to see? No,
Right,
go ahead.
right. Tell me what you can see.
Oh, I love it.
That's his actual heartbeat. And that's his handwriting from my Mother Day cards. I love you, Mom. Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah. And there's a bird up there, but we're going to talk about that bird. Let's talk about this bird.
Let's talk about the bird.
I sent
Debbie.
you a picture. It was my very first Mother's Day without Kyle. And I went to brunch with a friend. And then when I came home, what I wanted to do was do yard work that day. And I did it, and I loved it. And I have this little convertible car that Kyle and I loved because
I love that car too.
Right. I wanted the motorcycle, but it's not really safe. So instead I got a convertible, and Kyle was like, when we go for a ride after, I go, yeah, let's go. It was our thing. So I'm doing yard work and I'm done, and I'm looking at my convertible. I was like, it looks good. And then all of a sudden I'm done with my yard and I see a spot on my car. And I'm like, what the hell is that? It was clean for the last hour. And the closer I get, how do I put this? It was bird poop, and it was under the spoiler. And I sent it to Pierre. I sent it to you.
Yes.
It just looks like bird shit.
I did say that. I was like, what the fuck is this? Why are you sending me pictures of this shit?
I go, no, look at it. I go, doesn't it look like a bird? But the detail in the bird was impressive. Like, I don't know how a bird did that underneath the spoiler. Like, it went low and I don't know.
It shat.
I put it, like, way up here. You see it?
Yeah, no, I know.
That's the bird.
That is the bird.
Pierre said it was just a pile of shit.
It did it.
And I was like, on Mother's Day, and it went there. It was cool.
Yeah.
So I put it there.
So, yeah, big shout out to Kyle. I miss Kyle.
Me too.
And
Me too.
I think he's probably one of the main reasons that you're friends with all your clients.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not me.
But-
I'm probably
No, it's not.
I'm a bitch. But no, I'm not. No, but Kyle's a good boy. I wish he was here.
I got a segment that I want to start doing.
Yep.
We're almost at the end here.
Okay.
And called Rapid Fire. I want to start getting better at this, but
I was going to suggest that to you. You
Really?
should do like a rapid fire at the end, like whatever comes to mind. You ask, I answer. I was on
it's
the
just-
ride up. I thought about that.
so it's literally
Okay, go.
just some maybe I only got a couple here because I was just I was
Go.
super not prepared for your this episode because we're really
Right.
good friends, and the fuck, I should have been a little more prepared.
all
But I
right,
only
go.
have a couple here.
Okay.
Nobody has asked me any yet. So
Oh.
maybe if you want to think of a couple off the top, one or two or
Okay.
three at the end or whatever. So I'm going to give you a word.
Okay.
The first thing that comes to your mind, if there's a story behind why you're giving me that
Okay.
answer or
Tell
whatever,
ya.
tell me about it.
All right.
Vacation.
Oh, where? Where is not there a vacation? I've been traveling like a motherfucker.
Yo,
Yo.
I couldn't even. We were supposed to interview a while ago, but maybe not. I had to wait for you to get back.
Shut up.
Maybe not. That was wrong.
I'm
That was wrong.
everywhere.
Yo, okay, vacation. Where
Yeah.
have you been recently?
Recently, like my big vacation this year was Italy. Like it was my second time to Italy, but it was like 2+ weeks. It was lovely.
Yeah, I'm your driver.
Lovely. Yeah, I know he brings us to the airport. See you later, bye. Pick us up. But
got you.
I'm Mexico, Aruba, Curacao. I'm at the islands, just relaxing. But Italy was a different. Like you have, you want to see everything because you're there. I spent a week in Tuscany with like 17 other people. And then I had left like 4 days prior with another friend who was doing that week. And then we stayed 6 days later and we went to Florence, Capri, Positano. It was really
Actually, one
wild.
of your friends that you went with, I actually want to get on the podcast.
Oh,
The
yeah.
retired homicide detective.
Homicide detective.
I definitely want to get her in here. She said she was down, so
She's down. She'll do it. But the woman that I went with before, she's she's an incredible spiritual person who can read you. Like,
So it'd be worth having her on here too.
oh my God. Like I was with her in Italy for 2.5 weeks. She was like reading me every day, like I was exhausted. But it was a gift. It was a gift. But she's wild. The shit she's wild.
Friends.
Ugh.
The first thing that come to mind when you hear the word friends.
Friends, I'm like Pierre, Alicia, Beth, Sandra. Yeah. And my brother, my youngest brother. He's a pain in the ass.
I love him, though.
I know, but
I love him. That's my guy.
When I talk about my youngest brother, I go, there's something wrong with him. Whether I say it before or after, I go, there's something wrong with him. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly...
You got to have a small group because, it's... you got some stuff. When you have some baggage, like I don't like to share all my stuff because it's heavy and I don't want to put that on people. But, when you have a close knit and they know everything about you, they know you're in a good mood. You're not. I'm not coming. There's something up. They're like, I got you. Yeah.
For sure. We definitely came down to...
No. Don't even speak. I'm going to speak about this.
Go ahead.
I'm going to try to speak about it.
Don't cry. Don't fucking cry. I'm going to fucking bleep this shit out.
Fuck you.
Sorry.
Fuck you.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
These Alicia and Pierre. So Kyle's service happened and it was over. It was like crickets. And it was like everyone, like before he passed away, it was like 40, 50 different people a day text me. How is he? What's happening? How is he? What's happening? And it was good for me because it distracted. And I'm with him, bedside with him in the ICU in Yale. And then he passes and it slows down a little bit. And then we have his service and then it's crickets. It's nothing. But then I get reached out by either Pierre or your wife or Alicia, and she's like, what are you doing today? I go, I have a client. I'll be done at 4. Good. We'll be there at 4:30. And no, it was happening whether I wanted it to or not. And it was massive. Sorry.
That's okay.
It was massively supportive to me.
I'm trying not to.
I know.
I'm tearing up my goddamn self.
He's crying.
You won't see it. You won't see it. I'll blink the shit. I'll blink like a motherfucker.
But it was huge.
No,
it was huge.
We
because you know what? I talked to people afterwards and I was like, it's a month later and they're like, hi, how are you? And I was like, I'm good. How you been? And I said, I don't know about myself. And it's all right. And they go, well, what about this person? What about that? But the people that were closest to me before dissipated.
Yeah.
And I have a whole new circle. And I could be mad, but I'm not mad. But I feel that, they were emotionally affected by losing Kyle. And I appreciate that they're hurt so much that being my friend is too much for them. So that I appreciate. But I was like in a la fucking land, dude.
No, we knew that. And as a friend, you don't let friends go through that shit alone. You know what I mean?
Nope,
and,
they were coming whether you liked it or not.
Yeah, we were coming,
Nope.
making sure that you were eating and
Yep.
we had drinks together. We cried together.
Yep.
We just wanted to be there. Yeah.
Gave you some of Kyle's things, which is nice.
I was I was one of his costumes for Halloween.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh shoot! I have a bunch of other stuff I
We'll
wanted to give you.
definitely go through it. We definitely go through it.
It's just not a normal. It's just not a normal thing.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre. Yeah. To not have him there.
We could have another episode where we get into all that other stuff.
Oh, there's some other stuff to go through.
Okay. Yeah.
There we go. I was like, I'm not going to cry.
Well,
There's no crying in SMP.
Well, thank you for coming here.
I appreciate
it.
And
this is your camera right here. Tell people where they can find you.
So you can find me on Instagram, which is great. So I have my scalp page, Scalp Ink CT, and my Royal Arches Eyebrows. And then just DM me. Just reach out. Send me a picture. Let me see if I can help you or not. If I can't, I'm going to tell you. If I can, I'm going to tell you.
Well, thank you for coming by. I love you so much.
I know.
You mean the world to me. You help me out so much.
Yeah.
Anytime you ever have anything going on, this is your platform. You come on here. We can talk about it.
We'll talk about Kyle's case.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have another episode. For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's my time. This was the DJ DNA podcast. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. You hit the follow button. And I'm out. Until next time, peace.